All right, so we're continuing with the project. We've got the tarp off, the used billboard. We now have our purlins up, and we actually have a hard tin roof up. So we're very happy with that. But now it's time to start working on the inside. All right, so now we have the tarp off. We were able to use purlins, reuse some of the lumber. We had to use some new lumber. We have 2x4 purlins, and now we have 3x12 sheets of galvanized or galvalume, whatever you want to call it, tin on top. Matches the actual roof. So now we're permanently weathered in, or not weathered in, but don't have to worry about a tarp or anything like that. Now we'll next step is to move all this stuff out and take that wall off. Once we take this wall off, the barn is exposed, and we're going to try to reuse the tarp we had for the roof as the wall while we close all this in. All right, so now it's time to start working on the inside, and this is what we have going on. So we have somewhat of a frame up previously, but we need to take down this entire wall. This is the entire wall of the barn. The hay, we've got the hay out. It was piled in here. So now we need to take this down, and then we're going to put up our old billboard as a temporary wall until we can now wall in the rest of the lean-to. So now one of the things we have to do is, our pole barn has good posts behind it. We just put these in not to support the roof. We didn't put these in to support the roof. We put them in just to support this side framing. But we have them screwed in all the way through the siding of the barn into the posts. So now we need to remove those, remove this blocking wood that you might be able to see behind it, and then we can actually start pulling this tin off. And as we were trying to figure out which ones were best for us, we had these larger galvanized lag bolts, and then we went with some other type of lag bolts. They were thinner, longer. They had about the same breaking strength or hold strength. Use them for decks and stuff. Now I just got to get a different bit. All right, so now those wooden blocks are screwed in, and then the 4x4 was put up. So we're going to have to use a sawzall to go in behind the tin, and also cut all those screws to be able to take that side of the wall off. All right, so we've removed the lag bolts from this 4x4 and the one on the opposite side. Now what we're going to try and do is cut the screws. We just have wooden screws holding these pieces of wood in, and we have sheet metal or tin roof screws holding the panel on, but we can't get to it because of this board. So we're going to try to go behind the metal here, the tin siding, with this like a diamond grit sawzall blade, and try to cut those screws loose. Now we'll do the same thing on the other side, and then we should be able to go in and actually remove all the screws and remove this whole siding. I do not like messing with tin without gloves. This metal isn't light. It's really thick gauge. I have no idea what thickness, but this came off of a semi truck barn that was destroyed in a tornado over in Mississippi, right across the state line. So we were able to get all this siding you see that I'm taking off now. The siding, if you can see through the barn, the whole back of the barn, the whole sides right here, all of that siding was reclaimed from a storm damaged 18-wheeler barn. The metal that's on our outdoor kitchen, the roof going around the sides, once again reclaimed tin from that exact same structure. All free, able to build all these things out. So if we can reclaim it, repurpose it for walls, these other walls, that's what we're going to do. And it is heavy, and it's 24 feet long and 3 feet wide, and I got a 5 to 10 mile an hour wind, and I'm trying to carry this in, so it's a sail. All right, this is the framing of our barn. Some of this was done real close, mainly for the type of tin that we had. Also to be able to hang other things on, like to be able to hang hay feeders, to hang regular feeders. So we got a lot of wood right in here. Also, a lot of this reinforcement is because we did have, at that time, we were getting a cow mignon, and with them being about this tall, Wanted something I didn't know. That was our first cow. Didn't know what we were going to need to be able to hold him in. Was he going to lean up, brush up? So we wanted this wall to be really, really sturdy. This has been up since November of 2021, the end of 2021. So what's that, 3 years? Over 3 years. We survived several storms and a hurricane. So we are not carpenters. We are not framers. My background's in environmental and science. Mimi is science. So we're very proud of what we've done. All right, let's see what's next. All right, so we have the metal siding down. This was the wall that we showed you earlier. I didn't grab the camera start updating, but I've already started taking down some of the wood here. So this will actually just continue out to here. But we are going to keep that, and this bottom, because before we know that before we can close all this in, we're going to have to put that billboard that we had as a roof up here to help keep the wind off of them until we can get this closed in. All right, well, now that we've got the wall down, we've got the aluminum, or not aluminum, but we got the metal siding down. We've turned around and taken down a lot of the framework that we had up here that was holding it. Now we're just going to close it up. We took it down. Now we're going to close it back up with just the billboard. I'm sure y'all can hear that. That's the sheep walking all over the tin. Now we're going to close it up with the billboard that we took off the roof. Before we tinned the roof, we took the billboard down. Now we're going to put this up to close this off. So this way we can then use the metal that we took off the wall. So we can use the metal that we took off the wall to try to side some of our new addition. Thank you. All right, so my plan is to tighten this up and do the same across the boards in the middle and the bottom. If not, with those nails that we're using up there, like you would use for an underlayment under roofing, we might just go ahead and hold them down, hold the billboard down with the 2x4s nailed up to it or screwed onto it. That's how we had the tarp held down on the ceiling or on the roof itself. But right now, if you've been hearing, Sirloin of Sims is yelling for his bottle. It is just past noon. I need to go get his bottle ready, and then we'll come back and finish up. All right, it's dry. There's no more. There's no more. Oh, there's no more. There's no more. All right, so we're hoping that holds it right there. If the top doesn't hold, we'll come back with some more 2x4s and do just what we've done right here. But I think it should hold. It should be able to hold. Most of our winds that we're concerned about are coming out of the north. They should come in and just go right on through. We're not having a lot of south winds right now. That would come in through our open south end of the barn and would blow into this, blowing it outward. So I don't think we have that much of a concern right now. But that's where we are. Oh, so we had the roof put on. We had this wall taken down, this put up to protect the sheep once again. And next is going to be to frame in these three sides, use that tin on the bottom as more of a rain splash guard, and then we'll probably use paneling along the top edge. So stick around, let's see what we get done. Hey girls. Hey Dapple. All right, so we have now transformed our barn once again to the metal roof. We've took the metal siding down off the back of the barn. We now have it just staged over here where we will reuse it once again on the bottoms of the sides and maybe the back here. But just to protect the sheep and sirloin from any winds, harsh winds, or anything like that. We have that same billboard that was the roof is now the wall to keep the wind off of them until we can get all of this all through here and around completely framed in. And then we can open this up right here, and we'll add roughly 240 square feet to the barn.
Did you know we have a small business? Be sure to check out our website at mimiandpoppy'splace.com. Mimi and Poppy's Place, where we understand your skin's story.